Hello everyone. Today I'll show you how to create unique ring shapes step by step using just one Rhino command and network of curves. You will have full control over the ring surface. Let's get started and don't forget to subscribe my channel. In this video, we are going to learn about a very useful technique which is basically use the surface from network of curves. With this technique, you will be able to make different type of rings very fast and very easy. And also, you can have a good control on your surface and the shape of your ring. So, let me show you. For the beginning, we have to decide what will be the shape of our ring at the top. For example, in this case, I'm going to use the ellipse. I will draw a simple ellipse. Then, with the help of the network, with the help of the set point, I will put it at the top of my ring. Then, for example, I want to have a ring with the 3 millimeter height at the top. You're fine with the shape, so it's good. But if you're not, you can customize it. But with the help of the record history, the next few minutes, I will show you how to edit your ring after you finalized everything. So at this point, I need the offset, for example, 1.5. That's the minimum thickness of our ring. I will make a copy from that offset. Then I will rebuild it. 8 point. Degree must be on 3. I am drawing a curve. Paste that ring and put it in the lock because I want to have a guideline here. Turn on the control points, project on, move your point to the edge, and try to make a shape. Usually in my designs, I add, for example, 1.8 at this point, side of the shank. Will manually try to manage it. Just take a look at the shape of the second curve here. You can see from 1.5, it start increasing the thickness to the top. We don't like to have something like this. For example, it's 1.5 here, for example, 1.3, then again 1.5 and 1.8, and then increase. So just this curve, which I put it in the lock, is the guide for us to show us how smooth our surface is. So I'm happy with the shape, but if you want, you can make it different shapes. You can also add here. Then I will make a mirror. I will remove this curve. Then I will make a rotate. We'll hold the shift. P is on yes, and I will do the 19-degree rotate. Then I will select these two last points. Set point on the Y vector, I will put it on the quad. Then I'm going to the right view. This point must be in the same Z position. Now start to shape the side of my ring. Again, these two, the Y, make sure they are in the same position. Another mirror. Then we use the network command. Close curve at the top. Just be careful. A closed curve at the top. It shouldn't be open. Then your next curves. And okay. Put it on the shaded mode. I will disable the ISO curves. And I will extrude this ring rail in the both side. And then go to the right view again. Put it on the shaded mode. As you can see, on the top, on the bottom, we have a problem. So the history is on. Now I can do the changes because I want a smooth shape from top to bottom. You want more width here, so you have to customize your curve. You cannot see your control points. You can use the gusset mode or the wireframe mode. It depends on you. And if you need, you can also rebuild and add more curves. For example, 12 points, sorry. Add more points with the rebuild. Again, make sure the first 2 points at the top and at the bottom is in the same position. Then you can again customize it. So we're going to leave it there. Then I will come back and solve this issue. With one cap, we'll have a solid ring. And we will put this edge at the bottom. We do the cap and Boolean difference. Now we have a ring, which we are going to fix this issue. This is the first step. What if we are looking for a different shape? For example, polygon at the top. Let's draw a polygon. That point, top, vector, hiding the ellipse. Since we have a history, you can see when I'm changing each curve, the other curve also automatically change and helps me to work faster. So don't forget to turn on your record history. But if you want to have a ring, for example, on this side is different and the other side is different, you don't need the history. You can make the changes. It depends on your design and your concept. Again, I'm going to use the network. As you see, I have a problem with my surface. What is the problem? The problem is for the network of surface, you need a degree 3 curve. And this polygon is, when I do the rebuild, you can see the degree is 1. So if I need a degree 3 curve, the best option for me is, at first I will do the fillet at the edges. Then I'm going to rebuild it with the, for example, 1000 points. But just make sure you have done all the designing and detailing at the top, because after you're adding 1000 points to your top of the ring, then you will not able to make changes because it will be very difficult to handle a 1000 curve, 1000 points on the curve. So I will manage the control points again. Let me let this curve because I lost the history. I will mirror it again. Again, I'm going to use the network command to make the surface. And again, extrude the ring rate and use the cap to see the ring. So this is very basic one. If we want to have more control on our design, what we should do? We should add more closed curves. For example, if I want to have a rectangular shank at the side, what should I do? I need to add a rectangular closed curve to the side of my ring. So let's go and do it. Do the undo. Then I'm going to, for example, draw an ellipse here from this from 0. Hold the shift, directly contact there, and here you can leave it, no problem. We will fix it again. Rebuild. For example, 8 points, fine. Close it, shape you're looking for. Add more points. X. Again, I'm doing it here. Then I will select these points and use the Gumball scale. As you see, these curves are not aligned, these control points, so I'm going to align them with the help of the set point command. Now, the only thing I need is a 1D scale to make these curves touch my open curves. Now I'm going to do another network. Let's see the results. Now you can see the changes here. and then we will go to solve the bottom issue. Yeah, hide the isocurves. As you can see, we have a rectangle, we have a polygon at the top, a rectangle the middle, and a normal ring at the bottom, which have an issue, and I will explain the solution for that as well. So it depends on you and what are you looking for. You can also have an ellipse here, or you can have different shapes. Uh, the thing that I used usually for it, like you can also use a butterfly at the top. Let me show you how we are going to do the butterfly at the top with this same technique. I will undo everything, go to the circle. If you want to have a butterfly at the top, only thing you need is a curve here. Rebuild it, for example, to the 8. I'm going to make a very simple one, show you how this technique works, and such a flexible technique to use and such a useful command is. Go to the top, hide the ellipse, make a very ugly butterfly. To the mirror, history is on, so I can change the shape. Don't complain about the shape, I'm just trying to show you how it works. So, as I said, we need a degree 3 curve. So every degree 3 curves don't have an edge, or, for example, they don't have a kink or a point. So we need to solve this one as well. So I'm going to use the fillet again. If I want to keep it as much as possible close to the shape, you can see I add a very small fillet, rebuild 1500. Then in here, I cannot use the history. Just for the front view, I can use. For the side view, because there's a difference between the bottom and the head of the butterfly. I'm going to put it here. But be careful, don't snap it, for example, here. You need a straight line to have a very smooth surface. So be careful about selecting the right snap point on your curves. I'm going to rebuild this curve to the 8, this one as well. So I need to find exact point for connection. So I draw a curve here. I'm going to select this point, use the move command, find the intersect. History was on, so I can use the uh, 3 for the front view curves. Now I'm going to do the network again. Yeah. Again, I'm going to show you how it worked. But as you see, there's a problem at the side. I don't like it. I want to have a thinner shank at the side one. I want to decrease the weight. So what I'm going to do is add one more close curve side of my design. Again, I rebuild it to the 8. This time I'm not going for the rectangular shape. I will stick to the ellipse, but a little bit more smooth shape. Scale 1. Again, from 0, and intersect here and the network. And you can see I have smaller shanks and I saved some weight. Metal could be a gold or silver one. So for the bottom, we can cut the bottom part and solve this issue. You can see there is an issue here. So let's go to the basic shape and do that. But It's all for all the designs will be the same, but we are going to do it with the simple one, which is ellipse. So I'm going to use the network app. Extrude the curve, put the edge at the bottom, tap your ring ray, Boolean difference. And now we have this ugly shape at the bottom. Going to the front view, draw a curve, cut the shank, use the extrude, mirror, select this part, trim, split, or whatever. Tap, close it. Select all the curves, just keep the ring rail. You can remove the other curves or you can hide them. Then use the blend curve, connect these two parts together. Go to the side view, make sure it will be a smooth shape. Again, we can change it with the history, but do the job faster and easier. I always pick it. Then use the pull command, delete input on no, and pull your curves. Why I didn't use the delete option? Because now I can, with the history, now I can change my curve on the surface. As you can see, each time I changed my curves and the position of the control points, you can see at the top in the command bar, it says history updated to objects. Just take a look at the command bar. I'm going to change the positions again. You can see history updated again and again. So I'm going to hide these two curves. I will put them in a different layer and hide them. And then I'm doing a sweep to we have a broken edge here, so no problem. I'm going to join, rebuild those curves, duplicate edge, rebuild with the same points, sweep to, and we've done it. And use the loft command, join, and then use cap. Make sure your edges are planar and everything's fine here. As you see, now we have a ring with a smooth surface, with a smooth shape, and you can use the thousands different type of shapes for this technique. As I show you, you can use it for the ellipse, polygons, maybe a butterfly, maybe another shape, and it don't need to be symmetric. You can change the curves on the sides or at the top to reach different shapes. The next question about this command is how we are going to add the thickness. There is a command in Rhino which is called shell, which is sometimes make headache for us. It could be easy for this kind of shape. Let's do it. I will add the thickness to 0.3. So for this shape, it works very well. But for more complicated shapes, sometimes shells make some problems, and we're struggling to add the thickness, and we don't want to have a solid ring, for example. So what we are going to do, I'm going to undo and before doing the cap. Let's say we want to have a ring with the thickness of the, for example, offset surface inside, solid on yes, both side on no, with the thickness, for example, with the 45, 0.45. Now we have add the thickness. Only thing that we are going to do is do the ring rail extrude, put the edge, this edge I'm talking about, at the bottom, cap, and do the Boolean difference. And then you can have a duplicate edge or the curve which you made the ring with, planar surface, offset surface to the bottom or to the top with the thickness that you want. And then you can add more details. For example, put a stone on top of it or whatever you want to do and do the edits at the bottom. But what if I want to have more thickness at the edge and less thickness from here to the surfaces? How I'm going to do that? Again, I did the undo, hiding the ISO curves to show you. I make Control C. I do use the Control C to copy the surface. I will do the offset, for example, with the 45. I do the Control V to paste the surface. And again, I'm going, for example, for 0.6 thickness. Then this is my ring rail. I will do the extrude, put the edge at the bottom. This ring rail curve will get the offset, for example, for 0.5. It depends on you. If you need more, you can add more. If you need less, you can add less. It depends on your design. Again, I'm going to extrude this curve again. There is two curve here. There is two surface here. Unlock. I have two solid parts here. One with the 0.45 millimeter thickness, the other is with the 0.6 millimeter thickness. I'm going to select both of them. Then I'm going to use the Boolean split and use these two surfaces as a cutter. Now I can remove those cutters. Inside the ring, whatever you have to delete. Now there is two part which is have the thickness of the 0.6. I put them on the lock. And there is the 45 which I'm going to delete. And there is a very thick part at the surface which I'm going to delete, which is the 0.6. Now as you see, let me change the lock color. We have 0.6 at the edge of the ring and 0.45 for the rest of the ring. So it will help you to manage the weight of your ring. So, and for the thicknesses, don't forget it depends on you and depends on your design. Again, we have to fix this issue at the bottom. I'm going to do it again very fast. Let's use the cap command, and then I will show you how to solve this issue as well. Applicate edges because we have the surfaces here revealed. Example 30, 35 points. Join reveal. Again, blend curve, extrude, do the pool. This time I'm going to delete input because it's a very simple shape. I don't double check it. Sweep 2. Sorry, selected wrong curve for sweep. Do the loft. Join, cap. Make sure your poly surface is closed. Put in a different layer, for example, with the red one. And put them in the height. Select curves. In this case, I'm going to delete, but if you need, you can keep those curves. So, as you see, there's a problem with my surface, which is have a non-manifold or maybe naked edges. When I use the cap, it says it's closed, but as you see, there's a problem. I'm going to explode. There must be a surface here, but not there. We didn't use the cap. Okay. There's two surfaces here which I'm going to edit them. I select the rest of the surfaces, use the join command, and make sure they're becoming as a one piece. Put them in the hide and unlock, and let's go do the edits. Extract ISO curve is the main command for this issue. I'm going to select the closest point to the error of the surface. Again, extract ISO curve for the other one as well. Extract ISO curve here. Go to the wireframe, find the endpoint, shade it, and trim these two parts. Also, you can use the same curve for the other side of the for the other side of the ring if your ring is symmetrical. If your ring is not symmetrical, you have to do it again. Then I'm going to use the blend curve. I have a cross section here, with 2. So I need to do the duplicate edge and make a cross section at the top as well. Join. I hope it will work for the other side as well. Sometimes there's a problem, but our design is symmetrical, so there shouldn't be any problem. Make sure your object is in one piece. When I select this in one open poly surface, I'm going to delete the surfaces. Show selected objects. Select all of them together. Use the join command. As you can see, two poly surfaces join into one open poly surface. So the issue look like solved. Last thing I'm going to do is the cap. Everything's worked. And I'm going to check the zoom naked, zoom non-manifold edges. There is no non-manifold edge. There is no naked edge. So our poly surface is 100% correct. Again, I'm going to close the top, going rebuild planar surface, and for example, 35. And you can add more details in it if you want. You can make cravings at the side. You can make it, put a stone at the top, which we are going to do in the next videos in the future. I hope you will like this video. If you liked it, don't forget to click on the like button. And if you didn't subscribe to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the upcoming videos. I will be there again in the next week with the more techniques and tricks with Rhino, especially in the jewelry industry. See you soon.